Walk into any Rolex store with $15,000 in hand, and they'll still tell you no, not because you can't afford it, but because they won't sell it to you, even with the watch sitting right there in the display case. Why does the most famous luxury brand keep its products impossible to buy? If you've ever tried to get a Rolex, you already know the story. 5-year waiting list, maybe 10. And for the most popular models, like the Daytona or the Submariner, you could be waiting longer than some people stay in their careers. But here's the twist. This shortage isn't a production problem. It's not an accident. It's one of the smartest business strategies in luxury history. Today, we're breaking down the real reason Rolex watches are always sold out, and what this strategy teaches us about value. Let's start with the biggest secret. Rolex could make more watches tomorrow. They just don't. The company produces around 1 million watches every year. That's a huge number, but nowhere near enough to meet global demand. And remember, Rolex is privately owned. That means no shareholders pushing for bigger numbers or higher volume. They can choose exclusivity over production, and they do. While other luxury brands flood the market with products, Rolex does the opposite. They protect scarcity like it's a treasure. Because in luxury, scarcity isn't a weakness, it's fuel. Think about it when you hear a watch has a 7-year wait list, or that you need to build a relationship to even have a chance. Suddenly the product feels more valuable. It's simple psychology. If everyone could get a Submariner tomorrow, the demand drops. But when you can't get it, even with cash in hand, the desire skyrockets. This is why popular Rolex models stay sold out. Not because Rolex can't make more, but because they won't. Now here's where things get interesting. Rolex controls production, but authorized dealers control distribution, and the dealer game is a world of its own. You can't simply walk in and ask for a Rolex. Most dealers want to see a purchase history. Meaning, you often have to buy jewelry, less popular watches, or accessories first, just to qualify for a chance at an in-demand model. And if you don't want to play that game, there's the gray market. This is where independent dealers sell the exact same Rolex models, but at 2 or 3 times the official price. A Submariner that sells for $10,000 at retail? On the gray market, it might go for $18,000. A Daytona can reach double or even triple its retail value. But here's the genius part. Rolex doesn't raise their prices to match demand. They let the gray market do it for them. This keeps Rolex looking clean, affordable on paper, while still being perceived as a high-demand, high-value investment. And all the buzz around scarcity and rising prices essentially becomes free marketing. Of course, Rolex has been cracking down on flippers in recent years, especially after 2023 and 2024. Some dealers now blacklist customers who resell too quickly. But the scarcity cycle still continues. Now let's talk about the true brilliance behind all of this. Rolex has created a brand where the product rarely loses value. In fact, many models appreciate the moment you walk out of the store. No sales, no discounts, no seasonal promotions. Rolex is one of the only companies on earth where not selling too many products is actually part of the plan. This strategy gives them something priceless: decades of pricing power. They can raise prices every year, and demand still exceeds supply. They can keep production fixed, and the world still views their watches as symbols of success. Brands that flood the market end up losing prestige. Brands that hold back production become legendary. And that's why, more than 100 years after Rolex began, the brand is stronger than ever. Not because everyone can buy one, but because almost no one can. So why are Rolex watches always sold out? Because selling fewer watches creates more value than selling more. It's not a supply issue, it's a carefully engineered strategy. Scarcity equals desire, desire equals demand, and demand equals long-term power. This is the real lesson behind Rolex. Sometimes, the product you can't buy is more valuable than the one you can. If you want more breakdowns on the business strategies behind luxury brands, make sure to subscribe. New videos every week.